Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another Optc video, and in today's video, we're hopping into the Garp challenge against Hody. So this is the team, these are the supports. Let's dive in. Now, this first team that I have built for you guys, I do have a big Whalin team coming up right after this, but the first team I have put together is actually using all free-to-play subs. We are running double Boa as our captain, and I gotta say, Boa is just ultimate cheat code when it comes to this Garp challenge. She has no issues whatsoever tearing through this. Even with her low HP pool, she does this so damn easy. Her mirror ability is in full force when it comes to this content, and the fact of the matter is, like, the enemy just literally can't do anything, and it's so good and so satisfying using that Boa special, and sort of just justifies, in my opinion, why this unit is an S tier captain. I do think she's probably going to drop down just with the power creep that is coming with those burst units and stuff like that, but she is so good for this Garp challenge. It is not even funny. If you guys are struggling with the Psy variation for whatever reason, I mean, Psy is so damn stacked. You guys really shouldn't be struggling with Psy. Out of any of the colors, besides Strength maybe, and maybe Quick, Psy, in my opinion, is easily the best color, and you shouldn't have any issues whatsoever. But as I mentioned, this is a full free-to-play sub team. We do have Treasure Map Garp, we have the Carrot from the Whole Cake Island event, we have the Straw Hat Frankie from the Chopper Man missions, and then we have Kazuna Christmas Shirahoshi, who's actually a really phenomenal unit. But with this setup, we managed to get around all the debuffs. We have Barrier Pen with our Boa and our Frankie, so that way we can actually get through this barrier stage. And this team actually works really, really well. Compared to the big Whalin team that actually is coming up, it actually cleared it in the same amount of time, but the big reason that the Whalin team struggled was just because of this particular stage. It didn't struggle anywhere else. Roger just absolutely decimated it. But if you guys are looking for some more free-to-play options, these are some of the best Psy units that I could sort of put together. Now, Garp is actually replaceable in this team, but I did want to include him here, mainly because he is one of the units that actually gives cooldowns, as well as having fear resistance. And out of the free-to-play characters, there's really not a lot of characters that have that. But with the Psy, the downside is he is actually Psy, but the beautiful thing about Psy is they have access to the ship called the Liberal Hind. Now, if you guys don't know what the Liberal Hind does, it's special. It gives Psy characters one cooldown, which is actually insanely good, especially for this particular piece of content, as once we get to the final stage, we actually get our specials rerolled back and we get Sailor to spare. So Garp's a really, really good shout, as well as using the Liberal Hind if you are running mono Psy, as you get a very, very high attack boost. On to stage 4 now. This is where things actually start to get a little bit challenging. We come up against Hyozu and Vanderdeck, and they're going to give us poison. It is just a basic poison. Don't stress if you did watch my strength video. It is a basic poison, but if you keep Hyozu alive for the third turn, he will turn that into progressive poison, and then you will be in for a bad time. They also give us a full board of bomb, block, or unfavorable slots, so we're going to use our Shirahoshi special here to give ourselves an orb buff and turn any of those unfavorable orbs into matching, get an orb buff, and then get a carryover as long as you hit 3 or more perfects. That carryover effect is just so good, and lets us do a lot more damage to Dosan on this particular stage, and absolutely decimate our boy Zio as well. The fact that we make all colors favorable as well is really, really nice. And with our Boa captains, we actually make recovery orbs matching, and then I think we have a Sailor that has TND orbs matching as well. The Zio and Dosan stage have 4 turns to threshold, so we can remove that with Carrot. Carrot's another orb booster, so if you could, I think Komurasaki is another option if you guys are looking for a free-to-play option. But Carrot's just really good because she actually gives an orb buff as well. So if you guys didn't take out that previous stage in one turn, don't stress because Carrot's also going to give you an orb buff. She gives you some matching orbs as well, which is really, really nice. And she removes the threshold, which is really, really cool. Boa increasing the chance of recovery orbs helps out a lot, as that poison, we don't actually even have to worry about it, as she's just basically going to be healing back more than what the poison can do every single turn, as she drastically increases the chance of landing on those recovery orbs, giving her more attack, as the more you heal, the more attack she does on the next turn. So Boa's just still a phenomenal unit, and actually running her was actually so much fun. I actually don't run this unit nearly as much as I should be running her, mainly because of Roger. That's the big reason. If you're running Psy, you're normally running Roger, right? Let's be real. But once we get to the Dosan and the Icarus Much stage, they are going to give us that Orb Seal mechanic. But with Boa and her Mirror ability, we can literally just hit the Mirror, and then because there's 2 enemies here, we can actually just stall on this stage basically forever. Dosan is going to blind 2 of our units every 3 or 2 turns, I'm pretty sure, but it'll go down to 1 turn with your sockets, obviously. So don't stress about that too much. Just be mindful that it does that. We also get burned on this particular stage too, so that's a big reason we want to use that Mirror ability. Plus we have the auto heal from Boa as well, which is giving us that 5 times captain multiply every single turn as well. Make sure you are interchanging your attacks between both, I keep saying Dosan, it's Daruma, from Daruma and Icarus Much, and then that way you will be in good stead if you actually like need to store more. But once you get to the point where the burn's gone, we can use the Garp special. Garp's actually going to give us cooldowns as well as give us an attack buff. If your captain is both a primary and secondary typing, which Boa is, she is a free spirit and she is a shooter unit, it means we can actually get the attack buff from Garp. Now, I actually got fairly unlucky. I actually didn't take out Daruma on the first turn, but lucky for us, Garp actually gives us an attack boost for 2 turns. Just be very careful in this stage, though, as Icarus Much, if you get him below 50%, he is going to full heal back, as well as do a 50% HP cut. And with the amount of HP we have, it's not exactly the best thing to be doing, but we do have 2 Boas, which means we have 2 specials that can give the Mero ability. Once you get rid of Daruma, you can just use the Mero ability. You have 5 turns of auto heal here, and you can just basically take your time on good old Icarus March. There's no real issues whatsoever. Something that I actually didn't do on this particular stage was actually use the Boa super typing. I actually totally spaced. I was actually really tired when I recorded this and totally forgot, but use the Boa super typing on this particular stage as well. That way you can get an attack boost, a full board of orbs, and the Shirahoshi orb buff as well. It just works out really, really nicely. On the final stage against Hody, he's an int unit, which is great for Psy. He doesn't change colors like some of the other Garp challenges, so we are actually going to have color affinity, which is really, really nice. He has 2 turns of defense up. He rolls back all of our specials by 2 turns, which will go down to 1 after preemptive, and gives us Sailor to spare for 3 turns. So this is where the special of the Liberal Hind's great, but if you don't have the Liberal Hind for whatever reason, go buy the Liberal Hind, just saying. But you do have access to the treasure map Garp, so there is that option for you. We can remove the defense up and get color affinity with Frankie. We have the super typing of Boa for an attack boost, a full board of orbs, and with that, Hody's pretty much dead. So with all that buffs live now, basically Hody doesn't stand a chance. We can easily take him out, and there you guys go. So that was the free-to-play subs team for Psy. Probably one of the easiest ones that I've done so far. I am still struggling with decks, but that's about it. But let's move on to that big Whalin team I've been talking about now. Alright, so moving on to the big dog Whalin team, we are using the Pirate King himself, Goldie Roger. So this is the team, these are the supports. Let's dive in. Now, there aren't any really noticeable supports on this. Psy just has so much firepower that you don't even really need any intricate supports to make this work, and Roger sort of just tore through this very, very simply. The only downside to this particular team is we did struggle when we got to that barrier stage up against the Velociraptor-looking guy and those Fishmen. Besides that, Roger just absolutely decimated this, but once we do get to that stage, I'll just fast forward a little bit, as you just want to sort of sit on that stage until you get lucky enough to get the orbs to take out that particular Fishman. Unfortunately, we don't have any barrier pen, but you could easily probably find a spot for a barrier pen. Or just run like Boa as she captain, like you saw with the free-to-play team. She does it very, very well. Once we get to stage 2, we come up against Hody and 3 Fishmen. And the guys in the front, they have a lot of defense, but no HP. So make sure to take them out. And if you guys do have some color affinity, as you can see, like Roger just decimates this stage. If you hit a perfect there, Roger will just take out the stage in 1 turn. But your boy was very sleepy when he was recording this, and his spoon mode was kicking in. Once we hit stage 3, this is where the stage that Roger just actually struggles on, mainly because we need to get colored orbs. The 3 Fishmen in the back always have a strength, dex, and quick orb respective to their colors, and the Velociraptor-looking Fishman in the front, he's always going to have a 2 orb barrier for our random color. So once you take out the guys in the back, you sort of just want to stall on this particular stage until you can get your specials. Sorry, not until you get your specials, sorry, until you get the orbs that you need to actually take out this particular stage. Once you do that, you can move on to the next stage. And we're just going to sort of fast forward till there, as it took me, for this particular run, it took me a very, very long time to get there. So let's fast forward a little bit now. Alright, so we finally got to a point where we have the 2 orbs that we need to take this particular stage out. As you can see, like he doesn't do too much damage, and just with the auto heal as well as Liberal Hind's extra healing, you guys will be in good stead, so don't stress. This guy won't kill you, like it's not that big of an issue. With Shanks' attack boost, you can take him out in 1 turn, then we can move on to Hyozu and Vanderdecken. Hyozu's actually going to poison us, and that poison is actually just a standard poison. I did stuff that up in my strength video, but if you keep him alive for like 3 turns, he will turn that into a progressive poison. If you get the progressive poison, you're in for a bad time. But they also give you a full board of block orbs, as well as giving us a full board of bomb or unfavorable slots. So you can get any of the 3. We're just going to use the switch ability of Shanks here. If you get lucky, you can get more orbs with Shanks' crew switch ability. But as you can see, we just do so much damage, even without having all those orbs, that we can easily take out Vanderdecken with our color affinity, and then we can just take out Hyozu on the very next turn. Once that's done, we can move on to stage 5 against Jozu and Zeo. Now, against Jozu Zeo, they turn into super types, which I'm still a little bit uncertain what that actually does. I don't know if it means they do extra damage, but like I said, if you guys know what the go is, make sure to let me know in the comment section. They put up 4 turns of threshold though, which we're going to remove with our Rayleigh special. And with our Rayleigh special, we can actually give ourselves color affinity to our PSY units as well. We can switch with Shanks Crew, that's going to give us a attack boost as well. And we're actually going to use one of the Roger super types in this particular stage. The reason I just do that is just so I can just give myself some more matching orbs. Like, there's no real other reasons for actually using it. Besides just giving myself a full border orbs, and then that way we can move into the next stage with the full border orbs, and it just works very, very nicely. Because we do have color affinity with Shanks, we can actually do a lot of damage to Dosan as well. Don't let Dosan hit you, he will kill you. He does like 70,000 as his attack, but he's always on a 3-turn cooldown, which is very, very nice. The only team that's really going to struggle on this stage, I feel, is probably the Dex team, but we'll have to wait and see once I get to that run. On to the next stage, we come up against Daruma and Hyozu. Now, the big reason I used the super typing of Roger on the previous stage was actually to lock the orbs, so when we come into this stage, we had a full board of PSY slots. Now, that wasn't the case. Unfortunately, we just didn't have the damage to take out Dosan. So, I did actually lose 2 orbs on both Law and Rayleigh. These guys actually give you a 4-turn burn as well, but with the special of Law, we can get an orb boost. With the special of Roger, we can extend the orb boost, and we get a chain lock with Law's special as well, because Roger is a free spirit and a slasher unit. So, it just works really, really well. And that way, with Roger's amazing like blow away ability, where you actually don't have to worry about losing your buffs on the next stage, we can actually just pull this sort of stuff off, which is really, really nice. We don't have to worry about the burn. Just monitor how much HP you have and how many perfects you can hit. But with the Liberal Hind not like making it easy to hit perfects, it works really, really well. On to the final stage against Hody now. Now, Hody is a int unit, which is really, really nice because we have color affinity against Hody. We're going to use the Alvida special to get rid of the defense up. We have the Liberal Hind to give us cooldowns as Hody rolls our specials back and gives us Sailor Despair, so we can't rewind that with our Sailors unless they have fear resistance. And then we have a chain lock and attack boost with our Roger and our Shanks Crew specials as well. Beautiful thing is, because we have the carrier of the orb buff from Law, we still have an orb boost on this particular stage, and with that we can just say goodbye to our good old friend Hody there. So there you guys go. That's going to wrap up the Big Whalin PSY, and the whole PSY run actually. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and if you did, make sure to go down there and belt that like button for me if you're new to the channel. Hit the big red subscribe button too, but guys, wherever you are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, I thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Lights!
君たちに怪我させるわけに。きっと最後の島にたどり着ける。